As you can tell, we are motivated by competition.
We are motivated by competition.
We are very competitive people.
Yes, we are. So I got the second highest score in the class.
But who's counting?
Hello, 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 hello.
What's up? I'm Brandon.
I'm Sam. And this is the Ride or Die podcast. I was hoping you would step in this time. Why are you making me say hello first?
You won't have to after the next. As soon as we get our new intro finished up, it's going to do all the...
Oh, I saw a little preview of it.
All the jazzing
really
up.
Really good. So I just want to talk about something really exciting for me first, and then we'll move on to our topic today, which is just a little bit about with Christmas and Hanukkah and all that stuff coming up, like our new theory for this year is going to be about having experiences instead of stuff everywhere. And I just want to talk about the pain of all the toys around the house.
For the kids.
Sick of them.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah. But, and how I want to change things up a little this year. First, I want to talk about a huge accomplishment that I'm super proud of. I recently decided to go get my real estate license, and I am officially a realtor in the state of Florida. So, whoop, whoop. And I can say realtor because I'm a realtor, part of the National Association of Realtors and everything. So I'm like legit. And I wanted to share that with you guys because I've been pretty quiet about it on social media because I was sick. We had a guys trip, we had a girls trip, we had some stuff going on with the kids' school, and just all these things ended up that kind of became a blur and got lost in the mix. But it was a super big accomplishment for me. It was something that Brandon and I have wanted for years and years. We kept making excuses or getting too busy with life. And just recently decided like we really need me to just go get it. It's a piece of our business that is suffering because I don't have it. And it's a value add to the company that one of us needed to go do. And it made the most sense for me to go do it. And it was just time, right? But I was looking at the classes, and you only have so many choices to take these classes, and I've tried to do
like
it online.
to take the test or the class itself?
Like to take the class itself. Like there's only so many date options, and with our calendar being so crazy, like it was like I could cram it into a week and a half course right after, actually it was right after Labor Day I did the course, or I had to wait till like December or January when I knew I would be slowing our calendar down to get the class done. And I was like, the last thing I want to be doing around Christmas time is going to get my license. And I don't want to wait another 4 months to get it either. So we buckled down and I did this cram course within a week. And it was insanely crazy. I did nothing but eat, sleep, and breathe real estate class for that week and a half. And Brandon did nothing but eat, sleep, and breathe everything else because I did the best I could to help. I think I was more helpful than I had intended to be. Just because I was home, which there's nothing wrong with that. I passed. So it seemed to be a good balance. But, I mean,
you were focused. It was good.
I had to study my arse off. It was crazy. So needless to say, I passed the class, and then you have to schedule your state exam. And I got nervous. There's a 50% pass rate. And I'm looking around the room going, half of this class is going to go to their state exam, and they're going to fail, and it better not be me. So shout out. Go ahead.
I was going to say, in my words of encouragement there are a lot dumber people that have gotten their real estate license.
You know what? That was a very big good inspiration when you did tell me that.
Like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm like, babe, do you know who is a realtor?
Yes, you did point out a couple of
Can you not
be
hard on yourself?
That are definitely not the brightest crayons in the box. No,
well, you didn't have to say that we know them. There are just a lot of... The first realtor that sold us our 2 houses that were terrible investments.
And there's a couple that we know right now that were
not
great
the sharpest
motivation for me. And I will share that because they were good motivation to think, if they can do it, I can definitely do it. So who does not like that kind of motivation and drive when they're about to go do something tough? I mean, the day of the exam, the class exam, not the state exam, the day of the class exam, I was a complete lunatic. I went to go get lunch because we went and studied, and then we had lunch, and then we had to take the exam in the afternoon. So I feel overloaded with information and nervous that the second the paper is in front of me, I'm going to forget it all. And I just started thinking about all these people that probably wanted me to fail in that moment. and I blasted the music and played some like, hater rap and was like, I got this. Nobody is going to tell me I'm not going to accomplish this goal.
As you can tell, we are motivated by competition.
We are motivated by competition.
We are very competitive people.
Yes, we are. So I did go. I got the second highest score in the class.
But who's counting?
You know what? I really didn't expect to be. So I was really proud when he told me. And he said there was only one other person that scored higher, and she only missed one question on the whole exam. So I was like, she could have it. I don't care. All I cared is that I passed. And a lot of our class passed the class exam. So I don't know. We didn't all exchange numbers or anything. I do have my fingers crossed, and I prayed for everybody that they would all pass. But I passed my state exam on the first try. Studied my butt off for a few days leading up. I tell you, they don't put out those exam preps and stuff for no reason. So if you ever find yourself like going to get, some kind of extra skill or certificate or like a license or something, construction license or real estate license, just keep that in mind, that they give you these resources for a reason. And I almost didn't sign up for one. And one of my really good girlfriends said, girl, you have got to do the state exam prep. It saved me. And I was like, all right. And
is that like a study, like the equivalent of a study group or something?
Kind of. So what it does is it gives you all these different sections that are going to be on the exam, and they give you just like 100 different questions that could possibly be on the exam, or questions like it. They may variation of that question, and just change the numbers up on the actual exam. But they were straight up, some of those questions were on my exam. And it's called rapid fire training. So what it does is it makes you recognize the way they're asking the question with the answers that are on there, just so you get used to how they ask questions, because they try to trick you all up and down on these exams. It's crazy how many times they try to trick you on there. And then you just get really good at seeing certain things and relating, like, that statute has to do a commercial. That statute has to, and so I started like playing games with myself and figuring out like how to remember certain things, certain statutes and certain numbers. Like you needed to know certain numbers to do certain math problems. And so just like coming up with cool little games or rhymes to remember things I needed to remember. And that exam prep, I'm sure I went above and beyond with those extra like games and stuff on there, but it's just meant to train you to see things and do it. And you didn't get the answer, here's the right answer and why. And so I would read why, so I would try to remember it next time. And I went through every single section, and then I went back again and started doing it all randomly to try to confuse myself and mix myself up. And I went up 20 points in each section every time. I got an A the second time I tried to go through it. And I was like, I just couldn't be any more ready to take the state exam than I am in this moment. Good news is I passed my first time. I joked with my accountant before I went and took it. If she saw a whole bunch of, $37 charges start to come up in our books, it's because I keep failing the test and don't want to talk about it, so don't bring it up. And she actually just congratulated me the other day on our monthly call and was like, I noticed that there's only one $30 charge you must have passed. So it was fun. But anyway, super proud of myself, super thankful. Again, you held the fort down for the girls' trip and then just did it.
That's how I roll.
Well, you know what? I think that's a lesson in itself, that there's going to be seasons where, your roles and responsibilities do shift a little bit, and to just embrace those moments and work together as a team, because we really have been working so
all I had to
together
do
with
was
all these changes.
all I had to do was hold down the fort, and you just made an investment that added more value to the business, gave you another skill and certification. So
you had motivation
for me
to go take it. Anyway, that aside, I wanted to talk about, I mentioned on a previous podcast about how we're going to be doing something a little different this year for Christmas. And so I don't want to talk about it too long. It's a really quick topic, and there's really not a lot to embellish in. So I want to talk about... What brought up? What was the problem associated with this topic? There's two things. First off, we set some pretty big targets for ourselves for some goals that we want to hit in the next 6 months. And in order to do it, we really can't go just totally blow money over the holidays and not be really conscious of where we're spending our money and why in order to hit these targets. Because we went instead of going, let's hit these targets and blow a lot of money. We went, no, we want to knock it out of the park. So these targets are aggressive, and we had to keep ourselves accountable. So that was kind of like a secondary reason. The primary reason is I'm so sick of looking at toys all over the place. I can't stand clutter in my house, and I really can't stand when I'm the one that has to clean it up the majority of the time. And I actually find myself getting more and more like annoyed with Brandon for not picking up a toy right in the middle of the living room, or I get annoyed with my kids for not putting their stuff away every single day, because I do like my house to be clean. And so just like this constant feeling of like getting annoyed really doesn't serve any of us very well. I know you can't stand all the toys around the house.
I just can't stand they're not organized either.
And there's just too much to organize. And it's like, they're 5 and 3. You know, Max is about to turn 4. But you have friends over, and they go into the playroom with with the kids, and it's like, it's a you know, SHIT storm all over the playroom. No matter whose friend's house we go to, I always feel bad. I'm like, whoa, it's our turn, and I feel terrible for us at the end of the day, because even though we all have a really good time, the playroom will look like a disaster. I mean, it'll look like a hurricane went through there. There's just no organizing that every time. I literally would have to have living at home and organizing toys as my full-time job if you wanted that playroom to be organized all the time.
So now we'll just simplify things.
So now we're going to simplify things.
You get 2 toys. Play with them well.
I love spring cleaning and like the whole idea of purging stuff that you don't need anymore. I also like really involving the kids in opportunities to give back and do things. We don't go out in the community as much as we like donate our old clothes and donate money and stuff like that. But this year, I have the kids really excited and involved in actually getting rid of toys because we're going to give them to an organization that is close friends of ours run it. And they are always in need of more clothes and more toys and stuff for the children. They have children's homes. And I just kept thinking, like, there's so many toys that the kids don't play with. It hurts my heart that they don't play with these things and they just sit around.
Well, and they still want more toys. It's like they need to learn.
And they like new, fresh things, which is fine. But I don't need to keep 100 toys around that they're not going to play with just because they want something new and fresh. Like,
well, then they can't find the toys they want to play with because they're shuffling through all the toys that are like half broken or, you know, totally unorganized.
It's ridiculous. And I refuse to keep organizing it and cleaning it up because I'm the only one that will do it. So
any of our friends watching, please don't buy our kids toys. Thank you.
Well, actually, that is the message, and almost like a challenge to everybody. So this started out as something being super annoying. What it's actually turning into is something really cool because Brandon and I have always enjoyed the memories we get to create together. So we love the occasion that we do like a photo shoot because we think about the times in our life, or, you know, our wedding. We think about how amazing our wedding was because we had like all our favorite people in one spot for almost a whole week and had like wedding celebration all the time, celebrating our love and the fact that we were finally committing to be a husband and a wife. So just like we love these experiences. We love being able to take the kids to Disney all the time. And it's always a new experience when we go to Disney, even though Brandon and I have ridden the same rides with the kids 500 times. But there's a different reaction or a different experience every single time we go with the children. Which is really fun. So we decided this year to get the kids involved in giving their old clothes and toys away, which they seem really active and interested in doing. So that's been a really cool experience and lesson for us in itself of just having the kids not be so selfish with things that they don't need anymore. We can pass them on and pay them forward to other children that it's going to look and feel and be a brand new toy for them. So that's really cool. We get to give back a little over the holidays. But I don't care about all the wrapping paper and the toys under the tree and having all that clutter in the house. And literally, like, the whole tail end of their school break ends up being stressful for me anyway because all those new toys are everywhere and my house is a mess. So this year, I want to do more experiences. We can spend and budget for Christmas and we can spend it on toys, or we can go and spend it on year passes to the zoo or the aquarium, or just like really, we're going to be asking, family that usually sends toys to the kids, please don't send toys this year. We have an aunt and an uncle that pool together every year and they'll send us a Disney gift card. I love that they do this every single year because it takes a little pressure off us for the next Disney trip. We're like, cool, we have the Disney gift card now. When they are bothering us for some cool trinket in the store or something that we don't want to spend $40 on because we're like, well,
see, that's the
waste
trap.
of money.
That's the trap.
But then they get to get something, or we spend it on a meal. Like we'll go, we like to eat at this one restaurant that's like front row seats to the coolest parade that Disney does. But it's not a cheap lunch to go do. So we'll do lunch on aunt and uncle, and the kids get the front row seat to the parade, and it's shaded, so we're not sitting in the sun. And we just like that experience. So we're looking to do more experiences this year, and purging and stuff, all this other stuff we don't need. If you can't really afford to just give away all the old stuff, you can sell it too. Facebook Marketplace is like amazing.
I feel like the kids might also be learning a lesson of they have too many options. They have too many choices. They have too many distractions in the playroom with that many toys. So this will be a little experiment to see if they have less, are they going to be more imaginative with the toys that they do have versus... I'm telling you, if they're playing in there for an hour, they probably spend a half hour trying to figure out what the heck they're going to play with because they're digging through bins and trying to find a piece of one thing and a piece of another thing. Yep. Simplify.
And then we're realizing
minimalist children.
As a family, we get pretty disconnected when our kids are just kind of playing with the toys. We actually like to do more stuff with them, and we like to take them out. And they enjoy going on family date nights, and going out and they always want to go do things on the weekends now, and they're getting more actively involved in the family time planning. And so I love the idea of doing more experiences or asking for more of those types of things from family over the holidays and doing more of those things for the children, because many times they want to get out of the house, and there's trampoline parks near our house and all sorts of great things that bounce house places that we can take the kids. They get 2-3 hours of energy out. They have a blast. They have so much fun, and it takes us a half a day to go out and do one of these activities. So we're not sitting around bored. We're just out doing things that are active and being more active as a family. So there's health benefits and everything to it as well. And spending more time together, which is obviously important as well. So that's it. I'm keeping it super short and sweet on that one. You have any more input?
Nope.
He still doesn't feel good, so that's it for that then.
Cool.
Take us out then.
Nope, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. This has been another episode of the Ride or Die cast with me, Samantha Middleton. You can just forget this guy that's not talking over here. Remember to like and share and give us your feedback and comment on our threads. Has anybody else out there ever done this in their house? And not as a cop-out to not have to spend the money, to do different cool things with your children other than just throw toys under a tree. If you have done that, let us know what types of things you like to do, especially if you live in Tampa Bay and you're local and you're watching. I'd love to know some things that are really great to do with the kids. I feel like every time I go on Google, I'm finding new stuff for them. So if there's upcoming festivals or stuff and you've done the research already, please share the information with me so I don't have to spend all that same time just to look up the same types of things. And I challenge you guys to go out, share our podcast, and thank you very much for always coming back week after week and spending a half hour of your day with us. We're legit down to half-hour podcast now.
Yep.
High five your neighbor. All right.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.